Well, it comes as no surprise that China is lacking of a lot of natural resources. It's starved for oil. It needs that oil for its economic engine. I know they've been having to slow down. They've also been having a lot of problems in their shadow banking system, which is super leveraged to the max. And they got way too much construction going on that's financed by, I don't know what, paper, thin air, or whatever. You know, they're going to have a pretty bad implosion. But the one thing that really has always held them back is raw materials. And the one place that has a hell of a lot of raw materials is their neighbor to the north, Russia, especially Siberia. Siberia, you know. You got all the oil basically in western Siberia, but quite a bit in eastern Siberia. And Yakutsk, I don't know how to say that, right here. Yeah, Yakutsk, whatever it is. That's a whole independent republic or federation. It's the largest, I think, federation, that independent federation that's within the Russian Federation. They got a lot of autonomy. Now, the reason for it is because they're their own people. Now, if you figure this, if China did get in there and they took over, you know, they wouldn't have a problem with the people in Siberia or the outlying provinces as long as they didn't have as heavy a hand as what the Russian oligarchs do. And I can tell you one thing. The problem is yeah, this is them right here. It's the largest independent, semi-autonomous republic in the world. It's located within the Russian Federation. They produce like 99% of the diamonds for Russia. They got all kinds of materials coming out of there, and they don't get any of the money. So, you know, if, say, China was able to force their way into this area, you know, they wouldn't have a problem with the people if the people got a much better deal and they're getting, like, more money, for instance, than they're getting from, you know, the oligarchs that run Russia. Right? Right? So this is not actually out of the realm of possibility because China's looking for oil. You know, you know about it in the South Pacific. It's going down there by the Spratly Islands. And, you know, I really don't think they're going to be able to ever take over the United States the way. You know what way they could take over the United States? It would be this way. Through contractual agreements, because people on the top sold us out. Because really, you know what the problem is? There's like, look beyond the politics, look beyond the freaking national borders. We got big corporations selling us out and big corporations getting their meat claws into us different ways, and they pretty much own us in a lot of different ways, right? That's how China could take over a lot in the United States, through the big corporation, more or less, just put it in simple terms, because it'll never be like a military takeover, because, you know, the problem would be there's too many guns over here, there's too many people to fight back. It wouldn't be something like that. But in Russia, they're getting clobbered with the economic sanctions. The price of oil is still pretty low. It's down to like 57 or 58 on the WTI. And the Brent is not that much different from that. So, you know, I'm going to give you the deal here between you know, through the smoke and the haze, because, you know, the alternative media always likes to paint the picture that, you know, Russia's this super strong giant. Yeah, it's big geographically. Yes, it does have a strong military. It does have patriotic people. And I don't have nothing against patriotic Russians. But the problem is, you know, they got more wealth disparity. They got more difference between the wealthy and the regular people over there than they even have in the United States. Even though the United States has gotten to the point where now we got the most wealth disparity we've ever had in our history. It's still way more in Russia. And, you know, why they're getting that money is because, you know, it's... they do it also through the force of arms, too. But it's also because, you know, they own, you know, Siberia and Yakutsk, whatever his name is. I can't even say that, man. I'm sorry, but, you know, you got the drift of it. You know, I read about it. I'm just not good at freaking pronouncing anything that's a Russian word. I could say Putin. I'm glad he doesn't have a complicated name. I mean, even my cat's named Putin, right? Putin the cat. I think I ought to be running Russia. But anyway, if you look at this map of Russian population, you know, the population is really all right here. You know, in the United States, you could say, yeah, kind of the same thing in some ways, or everywhere in the world some ways. But we got a lot of representation. We got a lot of people on the East Coast, the West Coast. We got a lot of people Chicago area, the Denver area, the Dallas area. It is a lot more dispersed throughout. I mean, yeah, we got a lot of metropolitan areas, but it's all dispersed throughout the whole country, right? In Russia, most of the population is right near Europe, you know? That's kind of how it is. And this is the part of the area that's got all the resources is up here. You know, Siberia and Yakutsk, whatever that thing is. I forgot to say that, but damn it, you know, forget about it, you know. Just giving you information. I'm not telling you how to pronounce Russian words. You know, that's one language I wish those people's words over there, man, forget about it. It's worse than Greek. But anyway, well, I guess Chinese would be worst. But well, they got short names, Wu and Tu and Chu, whatever. But the thing is, China's always considered Siberia to be part of theirs, traditionally. Yeah. And you know, the Siberians think of themselves as Siberians, and you know, none of this area is really developed that well. Like, you know, you're able to pass the roadways really good and traverse, you know, and deliver the goods better during the wintertime when everything's frozen over. During the spring, man, the roads are freaking horrible. You know, Putin blew all that money on the freaking Winter Olympics in Sochi, and, you know, billions and billions and billions of dollars. You know, he didn't do nothing to these roads over here. They don't care. You know, it's all freaking for their fat egos. And I don't think the people in these independent, semi-autonomous republics in the, the eastern side of Russia would care. You know, who the hell... You know, if they get more money for whatever they're selling, like oil, diamonds, coal, or whatever the hell it is, and they still got the same deal, you know, they don't care too much because as of right now, you know, to tell you the truth, you know, people over in, this side, you know, the eastern side of Russia where it's Yakutsk, whatever it is, they don't even care too much about, you know, the Cultural Revolution or whatever, the Communist Revolution, the fall of the Soviet Union. I mean, they've always been doing their own thing for freaking, you know, hundreds of years. It's like they've been living the same way. They got the same traditions and everything. The thing is that the oligarchs in the Russian mafia, they take all the freaking diamonds, they take the freaking best resources from these areas, the oil, and you know, the people that live there, they don't get hardly any money, period. Hardly any of it. That's the deal, you see. So, I mean, China, if they came in there and they was able to take that over, I mean, they wouldn't have, if they were able to take it over, say for instance, right, they were able to get it, they would not have some kind of revolution on their hands if the people got a better deal with the money. Because right now, they're getting screwed big time. How do you think the oligarchs get so much money? They don't pay, you know, they don't dig this stuff out of the ground. What do you think, man? You think the Russian oligarchs dig this stuff out of the ground? What do you think the Russian economy is? It's all materials, man. It's all commodities, you know, isotopes, palladium, oil, diamonds, you know, the forest. They don't dig it out. Somebody else does it. They don't pay them no money. I mean, they pay them real little bit, you know? And they own the goods, you know? So that's really what the hell happens. So, you know, I mean, I don't want to knock Russia all the way because Russia's got some of the hottest looking chicks on the planet, for sure. But, you know, that's a moot point because, you know, they don't have the money either, you know? The thing is, like, you know, Russia's got vast amounts of oil reserves. They got... I think they got the largest, they do have the largest amount of natural gas reserves. And, you know, natural gas actually could totally pretty much replace oil as a fuel. But you never see this in cars, even though it burns much more cleaner and all this type of stuff. You know, the Chinese would just love to take this place over. I know it. You know, they would just love to take it over. But, you know, that's not what's going to happen. So, like, actually, this is probably a better map because... You know, in western Russia is where all the population is. You got these two provinces, Siberia. You know, Siberia goes all the way down to Krasnoyarsk, I could say that. And Yakutsk, whatever it is. I don't even know how to say that word. But this whole province here is like the largest semi-autonomous federal republic, whatever it is, within a supernatural, it's part of the Russian Federation. It's actually semi-autonomous. But, they're very poor. They don't have much money. And even though these two areas is where Russia's getting, the pink area and the tan area is where Russia's getting all the oligarchs, that is, are getting all their wealth from. That's why they're fat and happy, and they got loads and billions and billions and billions of dollars. And, don't let them fool you, because I've seen a lot of stuff they had. Well, I didn't see a lot of it. I saw tidbits of it, and not from the internet, from business associates, that, what they had stored in warehouses, man. God, holy smokes, man. And there's stuff out there, there's isotopes out there that are worth more than gold. You know that? Worth more than gold. They make gold look like dirt. And they got metric tons of it, not like the regular ton. It's the metric ton, 2,200 pounds. They got metric tons of this stuff. But somebody got all this stuff. Somebody dug it out. Somebody put it on whatever the hell they do to make an isotope. I don't even know how they make an isotope. I was looking at the values of them, and I says, holy smokes, man. I showed a couple little things of it, but I didn't really show nothing. I just showed, like, the values. But, China would love to have this. That's the only thing that's holding them back. So, it's a hell of a lot easier. Just go right down the street and your neighbor's got all the money you need, right? Than it is to go halfway around town to go after somebody over there, right? So, what do you think they would do? What do you think China would do? And, you look at the American military versus the Russian military. The Russian military is not doing that good, to tell you the truth. And the Chinese military is on the rise. So, I can tell you, it doesn't bode well for the future for Russia, to tell you the truth. I actually think Russia is going to wind up being like this part right here. That's going to be Russia, and this is going to be part of China. That's what's going to wind up happening. That's what I think, man. But as long as they save the babes, I don't care, because Russian blondes are definitely hot. So anyway, it looks like, it's the way it's going. And, you're not going to hear this on Rents. Because, the only thing that guy knows is Putin and Russia is wonderful, and everything in the United States is horrible. And you're not going to hear this from Brother Nathaniel, because the only thing he wants to tell you is Israel is this and the Jews are that. Whatever you are, Brother Nathaniel. I got to ad lib on here because I was getting some flack about some video I put out. I knew I would. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care about religion. Actually, to tell you the whole deal is everybody's all after greenbacks or money or something or diamonds or gold or whatever the hell it is. That's really the whole deal. And actually, those oligarchs got some smarts, because I don't know how the hell they got so few oligarchs, got so much wealth, because I think their position is pretty precarious, to tell you the truth, man. I think it really is. Well, Putin's, he's part of the gang too, man. You know that deal. Of course, Rents will tell you that, right? And Rents will say, yeah, Putin's a great guy. Yeah, Rents, tell me another one, buddy. These guys are full of it, man. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to leave you with this thought, because I got off on a tangent. You know why they got all these alternative media bloggers out there always freaking knocking the United States all the time? And I know there's a bunch of corruption going on. Look at the Clinton Foundation, right? I know there's all kinds of crap going on, But the thing is, why they always knock the United States, and they never freaking knock like Putin or Russia or the Chinese communists? They never knock them or anything like that. Why do they do that? Because it's part of the New World Order game plan. What they're going to do is they want you to reject this system here, which is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights especially. And what they'll do is they'll say, oh, yeah, you get all you people freaking, bitching and moaning and stuff about what's going on over here, instead of rolling up your sleeves and actually fixing it. Who the hell ever votes for other? Nobody, right? Nobody, right? And the thing is, what happens is they're gonna make it when we actually really do have a financial collapse here in the United States, which is not really a fairy tale thing, because I don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen bad, and it's not because I got a freaking I'm feeling like bad vibes about it or anything like that. But what they're going to do is they're going to have where The U.S. gets bailed out by the IMF. They're the only ones that could bail us out. And you know what they'll do? They're going to introduce a hybrid type communism, capitalism with like, oh, this is the good replacement system here. We're the good guys and all this kind of shit. You know, it's going to be like, as Major Anatoly Glitsin says, they're going to introduce, after a financial collapse in the West, they're going to introduce the hybrid type of capitalism, communism with a human face. La 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 la. I'm going to tell you one thing, man. The freaking alternative media is in on its deal. All of them. All of them. And if they're not in on it, they're playing the freaking game to the hilt. And they're fooled. I'm not fooled because I known about this shit before half these yo-yos were born. So, you know, hey, you know what I mean? So anyway, China, I'm going to tell you, just like freaking gang warfare, man. You know what I mean? China is going to, you know, it's a Russian plane now. China's going to go after Russia if Russia looks like the big, juicy, soft target. As long as the USA stays strong, they ain't going to go over after us, man. You know, if they get a lot of pressure on their southern border, like China can't get oil extracted from the Pacific, and they're having problems going into building islands on the reefs and stuff like that. Hey, man, they're going to make incursions into Russia. They'll do it different ways first. Make deals. Make deals. I'm sure they got plenty of deals. There's always been plenty of deals. But you know the problem is? Everybody's scared of Putin. That's a fact. I'll drop you another dime here. Everybody's scared of Putin. And maybe not just him, but because I don't know what the whole deal is behind here. But a lot of oligarchs can't act on their own. Oh, they will if nobody knows about it. They will. They'll deal with the West. Oh, they'll deal with the West because you know what they like is money. But I'll tell you that. I'll tell you one thing. They could probably make some other deals with China in different ways, and you know, Putin will say, "Whoa, that's corruption." Yeah, right. Anyway, long term, it looks like Russia's getting weaker and China's getting stronger. And China sees a nice, big, fat, juicy target. And that's where they got what they need, and they're right across the border, basically. You know what I mean? So it ain't going to be that difficult to freaking figure out what they want to do. As a matter of fact, I mean, I would think right now they probably already have, like, you know, stuff going across the border to China and Russia from this outlying province of Yakutsk, whatever his name is, Yakutsk, whatever. Already. Maybe not in vast quantities, but in certain amount of quantities. Because, you know, nobody patrols this area, really. It's all freaking... It's a mess. It's a mess. You know? I mean, they could probably do it by ship, for all I know. You pay somebody off, they're doing it, right? They're doing it. They're probably doing, you know... Of course, Putin found out to be saying, oh, corruption, corruption. Oh, it's not going in my pocket, corruption. It's not going in my buddy's pockets, corruption. Anyway, it's amazing, man. So I'm telling you right now, it's like, you know, forget about the nationalities, forget about the politics. It's all about money. So there you go.